morning, guys, and welcome to Unique Not Different with me, Shamla, and I'm back after a month um, off. It's a pleasure. And today I have Justin Jarvis as part of the Socialist Disability Campaign. Justin was featured, and Justin has an incredible story where he acquired a disability in 2018. So, good morning, Justin. How
Good
are you
morning, good
doing?
morning. I'm fine, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So, Justin, in 2018, you acquired a disability
Yes.
called vasculitis. Can you briefly tell me what happened?
Well, vasculitis is, as it says, a vascular condition where the body mistakenly attacks itself. And in my instance, it was the blood vessels in my legs. So the platelets, cellular lymphocytes, they began to clump together and cause again blockage, and which resulted in lack of circulation from my knees go down, which the cells began to die, and before it did any further damage, they had to amputate. So.
No, it was right in 2018. Good. Um, how did you cope with it when you found out, okay, you had to lose a limb? How you managed in terms
Um,
of coping?
at first, it was pretty difficult. Being a young person as myself, someone a lot would say in their prime. I was 23. I'm very active in sports. I travel a lot for studies and all these things. So hearing that I'm also a dancer, activist in the community. So hearing that a significant part of me is now, going to be impacted. It was a lot, especially in terms of my independence, my mobility, my individuality. So I felt really distorted. But I had, fortunately, by the grace of the Almighty, I had a strong support base in terms of my family and my friends. And they, a bit in a sense, carried me through the whole process, giving me words of encouragement, telling me I'm strong, I'm brave, and even total strangers that I would meet during my time in the hospital and even afterwards say, as a young person, seeing me go through such a life-changing experience, but still put on, the brave face and take it on and not, in a sense, don't let it stop you. It was a lot and gave me motivation to continue going forward.
So you mentioned that you had an active lifestyle before this, right? Before
Yes.
acquiring a disability. Can you tell me some things that you have done? Because I know you have a lot under your belt and a lot going on in terms of environmental activist, environmental and social disability advocate, youth ambassador, and also you are involved in a lot of activities. Can you tell me a little what you do
Sure.
prior? Mhm.
Well, before I was involved in community work from a child grew up, doing beach cleanups, community cleanups, peer mentorship. I was the former president of the Miara Police Youth Club. I was involved in a lot of community-based activities in terms of village sports, as I say, peer mentorship, hiking. These are things I love. I have a love in the environment. I live in Miara, so I live less than 10 minutes from the beach. So that was a significant part of me swimming, just going on to the beach, get away from life, because life could be hectic, especially in this technological age. So when again going through this kind of process now, it impacted me in terms of where I could go. Literally, now I have to think twice as to the places I could go. The pace at which I would exert myself in a sense, I now have to dial back, move at a slower pace, and adjust myself accordingly. So, but I still continue doing social work even now. I am the president of Youth Empowering Today for Tomorrow, which is a youth group in the Nerva Miara area, where we aim to enrich the lives of young persons in the community. I am the vice chair of the Nerva Miara District Youth Council, which is a part of the Trinidad Youth Council under the Ministry of Youth Development and Sport. So like I said, I still continue. I also aim to use myself as a inspiration to other persons, especially young persons, in the sense that where they shouldn't limit themselves and always be the best that they could be, because as a young person now you get labelized as, you know, an at-risk youth or a negative influence, especially the music and what's going on in our community, in our country nowadays. So I hope to inspire young persons, let them, you know, sort of be more productive, not only for themselves, but for their families, for their community, because we as young persons, we are the leaders of tomorrow. And we will be the ones to take charge of this country, take charge of various aspects. And it's high time we get ourselves in order and realize that we will only be cheering for a small amount of time. And we will be our leaders, we are young leaders, we have the potential to be that. So like I said, that's what I hope to do, inspire other persons to see to realize their fullest potential.
Justin, you made a good point there. We are future leaders of Trinidad and Tobago, because I think in the near future, you know, persons like yourself would have to lead Trinidad and Tobago, and we therefore have to inspire our peers, so our country can elevate and grow, you know, to its full potential. So now, right, having a disability, how do you see, or how that has that? I know you mentioned that before, but how has that changed your perspective in life, and what do you hope to achieve now? You know, does it limit? Obviously, no, right? But does it? How do you think now? Has it motivated you even more, or limit you in
It,
terms of, you know, where you want to go?
it has given me sort of a sense of direction as to where I am meant. I'm a believer, so I believe that everyone has a purpose in life. It took me a while to find what I thought was mine. Before this whole thing, I thought mine would have been more in terms of dance. I again grew up in church, you know, everyone has a God-given talent, and I thought mine was dance. But going through this experience, it has opened my eyes to a lot in terms of where my fellow men, what we go through on a regular basis. And I'm not just speaking in terms of your average citizen in this country, in regards to what the government is doing for you, what, as a citizen of this country, what you can access, right? So based on my experience, imagine a young person, athletic, independent, now going through such a traumatic experience such as this, and there was no sort of counselor, there was no mediator to help you transition into, you know, being someone who is now differently abled. There was no follow-up. Well, there is assistance provided from the government in terms of persons accessing resources and finances, but the amount of red tape and legalities you have to go through by the input is more than the output, if you understand what I'm saying. And also in the sense of where opportunities for persons with disabilities. Yes, there are infrastructures and systems in place, but these systems are very lacking. And in our country where differently able persons make up close to 20%, and we're not just talking physical disabilities, there are also mental disabilities, emotional disabilities. There aren't many mechanisms in place to support these persons, and added to that, the majority of differently able persons come from impoverished homes or families in poverty. This is seen as over 40%. So these sort of numbers, where it is now, it goes to show where systems are, as I say, systems and policies in place to provide assistance to persons with disabilities is severely lacking. Therefore, I, along with a group of friends, started a foundation known as the Foundation for Differently Abled Persons, FOUNDAP, where we operate in the Miari area, providing assistance to persons and families who have disabilities. We are a very small group, but small things can make big impacts. And just seeing the assistance, seeing these persons, seeing their faces light up with the little assistance. So imagine if we are able to provide assistance on a larger scale, the impact it could happen on not just persons individually, but on the country at large. So.
right? And Justin, in 30 seconds, what advice, because you gave the youth, I think you inspired me, waking up at 2:15 this morning in 30 seconds or less. What advice would you give the youth?
Don't limit yourself. Push,
Mm-hmm.
push hard and aim high. You set the bar as to where you will reach. Don't let nobody tell you what you could be. You are the author of your life, of your story. So make it great and make it something to be remarkable and rememberable.
Justin, you have really inspired me. I want to say thank you so much for coming and
No
sharing
problem.
your story. As I mentioned, I will mention again, you came from Mayaro and you reached here on time. So I
Thank
really,
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
the
so much.
opportunity. No problem.
Guys, thank you. Guys, with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to this week's segment of Unique Not Different. And it is campaign like this Lisa's campaign that highlight persons with disabilities and are able to share their stories on what they do. So thank you. And until next week, be good. Do good. Bye, guys.